Have you ever sat in a sales meeting thinking, this rep is great with people, but we would never put them in front of our VP of supply chain? That right there is costing industrial companies deals. Because the relationship seller, the one who's great at lunch, great at small talk, is quietly becoming obsolete. And most companies haven't caught up yet. Here's the problem. Industrial sales didn't suddenly change. Buyer expectations did. Today, you're not just selling to a buyer, you're selling to procurement, operation, and supply chain, all in the same room. And they're not asking about price first anymore. They're asking, what happens if this supplier goes down? What's our exposure if demand spikes? How fast can we recover if transportation fails? And if your rep can't answer those questions, the entire conversation collapses to price. That's where margin disappears. That's where deals are lost. Now here's what most companies still don't realize. Logistics risk is now a sales conversation, not an operations conversation, not a back office conversation, a sales conversation. Most buyers now understand the basics. Just-in-time lowers inventory, but increases risk. Just-in-case increases inventory, but protects revenue. Single sourcing looks efficient until a disruption wipes it out. And your sales team needs to be able to explain that clearly, not with buzzwords, but with business impact. Because if they can't, the buyer goes straight back to comparing prices. And once that happens, you've already lost control. Now compare that to what top industrial sales leaders are doing differently. They're not pitching products, they're reframing decisions. Here's what a 2-week port delay actually costs your revenue. That price difference, that's your insurance against disruption. Your model works until something breaks. Let's walk through that scenario. They understand freight exposure, lead time variability, redundancy versus efficiency, and how inventory actually impacts revenue. But more importantly, they can explain it in plain English. No jargon, no hiding behind relationships, just clear business-level thinking. That's the kind of seller who can sit with a CFO, an ops VP, and a supply chain director and not get exposed. Now here's where most companies get this completely wrong. The interview. They're still asking, tell me about your biggest deal. What's your sales process? How do you build relationships? Those questions sound good, but they tell you almost nothing about how someone actually thinks. So instead, ask this. Explain just-in-time versus just-in-case to a CFO focused on cash flow. If they can't connect operations to cash, they don't understand it. Ask, when is a higher price the right recommendation? If they can't justify margin through risk and resilience, they'll discount. Ask, how does logistics risk impact margin over a year? If they can't connect delays and disruptions to profit, they can't sell strategically. And finally, how do you sell resilience to someone trained to chase the lowest cost? That's the question that separates a strategic seller from an order taker. Because if they can't explain these concepts simply, they don't really understand them. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most companies are still promoting the best relationship builder, the loudest closer, or the most tenured rep. Meanwhile, their competitors are hiring people who understand supply chains, finance, and risk. People who can operate at the level their buyers are already thinking. Those teams lose fewer deals to cheaper competitors, hold their margins, and build stickier client relationships. Industrial sales is no longer relationships or strategy, it's relationships plus strategy. And the companies that understand that are quietly taking market share. Because the future belongs to salespeople who can translate logistics risk into business certainty and explain clearly why the cheapest option is often the most expensive mistake. And if your sales team can't have that conversation yet, your buyers are already having it without you.